So let's go to Dallas. And Stephen Jones, the son of Jerry Jones, and helps run the team with his
I was glad you
dad.
said that instead of like giving him some big time title. Just say son of Jerry Jones.
Right. That's the only title he needs, right?
That's it.
At this point. And he went on the radio and he said that they are not, they are confident. This was yesterday. That they have the right guy in Mike McCarthy as the head coach of this team. I'm going to throw it right out to you, Rob. Do you think that they should get rid of Mike McCarthy, whether now or, assuming this season continues as it is, you think they should get rid of him now or after the season?
I say definitely not now. And you have to take a look at everything that's gone on. And Chris, it is an indictment. The penalties, just the effort. There's a lot of stuff you can't like about the Cowboys. A lot. But also you got to be realistic about this year. A new coach, a new defensive coordinator, Nolan, right? Trying to make changes, injuries. You lose your quarterback. There's a lot of moving parts. First year for Mike McCarthy, who took last year off after being fired in Green Bay. And I can't see making a move this year. If everything was right, Chris, and they had everything in place, and they finished 2-14, then that's a real conversation. Right. But given where they are now with the injuries and no Dak and even Dalton just got hurt, concussed against Washington's football team. I just can't see making that. And you're going to give the guy a benefit of the doubt. See how if they improve, even if they don't make the playoffs and they lose, Chris, but they play with better effort and they're out there trying. And then you go into year two saying, okay, last year was a disaster. 2020, so many things didn't go our way. And if they got off to a bad start, 0-3, 1-5, 1-4, then you could really take a look and say, this is not working out. But a Super Bowl winning coach, his first year, and things not being all the way right, I think it would be very hard to make that decision.
Yeah, I'm with you. Now, it's bad. And for those that want to say get McCarthy out of there pronto or at the end of the season, the one thing they can point to is the team was bad when healthy. Or I should say when they had Dak. But the phrase I just used, when healthy. I mean, they haven't been healthy for most of the year.
And those are facts, not excuses.
Right.
Those are facts.
Right. And Rob, first of all, we got Tyron Smith. He's played 2 games. Zach Martin, now he just got hurt in week 6, but still, he's out now. He might be, we'll see if he comes back next week. But he's been banged up. They've had other injuries, and then Dak's out. Rob, if Aaron Rodgers goes down in Green Bay, if Tom Brady goes down in Tampa Bay, if Pat Mahomes goes down in Kansas City, and I know all those guys are better than Dak Prescott, but I'm just saying, if your franchise quarterback goes down, you're generally done. And so I agree with you that I don't think it would be fair. As bad as things looked under McCarthy,
and they are
even
bad.
when they
We're
had
not
Dak,
making
right.
any excuses. Chris, you know I was in Dallas. I watched the game at a restaurant with my friends down there, my buddy and his wife, and everybody's disgusted. They don't want to hear about injuries. But those are just facts. And I just don't think you could do Mike McCarthy like that. I think that would be a disservice to him.
Right. And here's what I'm looking for. And first of all, because they are I think it's got to be, it's certainly in the running, and we'll see how things finish. But it's in the running for the worst division in the history of football.
Yep.
And because of that, I mean, they're a half game back. They're 2-5. Philadelphia leads the division 2-4-1. So you still have a shot at the playoffs. I mean, it's hard for me to see them winning the division. Right.
You do.
That's just how bad things are in that division. So there's that, and there's the injuries. But what I'm looking for now, Rob, if I'm the Joneses, is effort and better execution.
Yep. I agree.
You could, because I don't care who's out there. You can execute. And I don't care who's out there. You can play hard. And to get stomped, mollywopped by the freaking Washington football team, that wasn't effort. That's all there is to it. It was not effort.
They were never in that game, Chris.
No,
never.
that was unbelievable. And so that's what I want to see from Mike McCarthy's players. I want to see them playing for their coach. But I'm with you. I keep him throughout this season. Worst case scenario, Rob, they go 3-13 and get a high draft pick. And then who knows? And then with the guy I would get rid of, Rob, and I'll give him this season. I really would. I would give him this season because, like I said, worst case scenario, you don't make the playoffs, you have a horrible record, you get a great draft pick. But I would not hesitate. If the defense doesn't improve, I would not hesitate for a second to get rid of Mike Nolan, the defensive coordinator, because their defense is historically bad.
Right. It is as bad. And if you can't get fired off of that, I don't know how, you can't get fired. So I agree with that. And coaches have been forced to do that at some point, Chris. Most of the time, coaches don't give up their assistants because that's a reflection of them, right? Like,
right.
It's like I'm throwing you to the wolves so I can keep my gig. So most coaches don't do that. But when you're historically bad as the Cowboys defense has been, that's worthy of you losing your gig now during the season. It absolutely is if it continues.
And look, they were 11th in defense last year in scoring. Now they're right there at the bottom. I mean, they are giving up. This is the killer. They are giving up 178 rushing yards a game. Think about that. How in the world can you hope to win football games? It's one thing if they're killing you through the air. That's bad enough, right? That's not good. But at least they're killing you with speed, like killing you quickly and you get the football. If they're killing you on the ground, then they are wearing your defense out with 10, 12, 14 play drives, and they're keeping your offense off the field. And so the defense has got to get better, or Mike Nolan should be a goner, period. And I got to say this too, Rob. I think when I look at what Jerry Jones has done with this team, he has turned America's team into the laughing stock of sports. Let's put it this way. They were one of the most successful franchises in all of sports. And now they are a laughing stock. They are the most overhyped franchise probably in sports.
Yep. They get more attention.
Because, right, in basketball, you got the Knicks, but the Knicks aren't on national TV. You know what I mean?
Nah, not like
Knicks aren't
this.
on national TV all the time. And right.
I
The Cowboys are treated like they are
like they
the
won
New
the Super
England
Bowl.
Patriots.
Right.
Right. It's ridiculous. And I mean, now, especially now that Dak's out, and there's no reason for this team to be, on national games every weekend. And everybody's talking about, we're talking about them to put them to bed.
Right.
But they get talked about all the time. And that's what they've become these last 25 years. The most overhyped team in all of sports. There's not a baseball. We talked about the Dodgers not winning it in 32 years, but they've been good. They've been in the World Series.
They've won the last 8 years in a row to NL West. Right. So they're worthy talking, Chris, despite them not winning a championship.
Yep. The Giants, the Cardinals, they get it done here and there, right?
Yep.
And then the Yankees haven't won it since 2009, but they're always a factor.
They've been in the
Red Sox have been
ALCS
good.
three of the last 4 years or something like that. So, again, they haven't won the World Series, Chris, but they've been good.
Yeah, there isn't an equivalent. Not in the NBA, not in Major League Baseball, and certainly not in the NFL. And that's what the Dallas Cowboys have become. It's that sad.